Ladies and gentlemen, we're here for another Doodle Diary. Today we're going to be doing some turning shapes into faces exercise. As you can see here, there's a variety. This is some examples I have done. I enjoy doing this. And I learned from a YouTube video, of course, Will Terrell, like I said, we've spoke about it before. He talks about doing it, and it's amazing. It's a way to get back into practice drawing people's faces, or if you're rusty, he suggests doing this. And all these R's, as you can see, I point to this piece of paper here to the left. There's just, line work there. I've just doodled a light shape of some kind, not paid attention. Close your eyes, throw it down, try to do like at least four, faces or four shapes to a paper. And, if you can, ultimately you try to turn them into basis. I'm going to show you the example here. I'm just kind of looking away and I'm doodling. As you can tell, I'm not even connecting the lines there. I always, you want to make odd shapes because you really want your mind to, you're going to see the obvious, and you'll see like on a few, like right there, I just did that one. That kind of looks like a nose there, and I do actually turn it into a nose. But you want to try to step away from doing that. Or at least I've found it's better. It's a better exercise. You want to try to step away from the obvious, because it helps you to make these odd shapes, these crazy cartoony faces. But for the sake of the video, I figured that was a nice nose. We'd go with it, because I really wanted to turn that pointy thing at the bottom into a lip. It just screamed lip. Look at, lip me. And of course, you can add to this shape, but, you make the fundamental shape, the shape of the, the little odd blob you did there. You make sure to try to hug and adhere to those, those set odd parameters, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But you see, I'm adding hair to the shape, like a pompadour looking thing. He's got him a nice do. Of course, you'll see on the top right, when I'll do it later, I just added a face in the middle and tried to use the hair in the bottom jaw. I was showing you different ways of approaching it. This is completely up to you, and that's what I like about it. It's really, fun, and it's you get to see the drawing aspect of it. I don't know, like little eyes. I had no idea what I'm doing here. Like, this was all off the cuff. And you actually see on the one on the bottom right, I will change it a bit. I'll change it a bit. So I try to go different ages. Like, you'll see this one is more of like an elderly lady and an elderly guy, maybe a cool dude at the bottom there with the glasses. You see the shades on. And then, of course, to be honest, the other one had a mustache on. I tried to put some facial hair on one to try to, not get into a groove. Do different noses every time. Try to experiment with different mouth shapes. Like, you see, this mouth has some teeth, like an overbite, and there's a little pair of glasses. I don't know. When I think grandma, I think little glasses that have big eyeballs in them, like a big magnification or something. I know that's not always the case, but for the sake of this drawing, I'm just, we're doodling. This is what's fun. Because I don't know how many of you are actually professional artists that watch these. And, I don't know. I mean, I know when I'm drawing something and doodling, sometimes I just like to draw, and get back to what I really enjoyed doing, and was passionate about when I was a kid, just doodling pictures. I wasn't designing a puppet for anyone, or I wasn't drawing anything in particular. I was just doodling as a kid, like in class, whether I was bored and I should have been listening. I was doodling Sonic the Hedgehog pictures and different, little wars between stickmen, and just, it's that fun doodle. It's that Zen moment. Whereas some people, turn to yoga or meditation or whatever, prayer, whatever you do. It's this takes me, I don't know. It puts me in a mode where I'm just creating. I'm just drawing things. I'm thinking for the moment. I'm letting the world's troubles escape me. I'm just sitting down and having a doodle and just, creating some funny faces. And it's cool. I like it. I don't know. I mean, I've never grown out of it. I still enjoy drawing crazy pictures. You see the mustache there. I changed the eyes, as you've seen. I didn't want the, narrow eyes. I wanted to have some big eyes. Maybe add some expression. Like you see, you can put an eyelid on it, make him look tired. There's a bunch of ways of doing it. But I just wanted to start practicing drawing different things because I know I said last Doodle Diary, if you've not seen it, it's so you need to go check that out as well. I talk about submitting your pictures with the hashtag Doodle Diary and tagging me in them on Twitter. And if you have pictures of you and like just doing stuff, or not necessarily a pose, because I want to try to break away from poses, maybe some life, doodles, maybe full body, different stuff like that. I want to be able to cartoonize you, if you get where I'm coming from. So I'm experimenting with different shapes. You don't want to, human faces are not all the same shape. They've got the same symmetry and stuff in the eyes and all, but you got different faces, you got different shapes of bodies, you got different types of people. Of course, you got different races of individuals, so the individuality is what I'm trying to stress here, and you need to practice that right there. I'm taking trying the bottom one. I really did some heavy line work there on the pencil, tried to knock back some of the sketch work there. But back to it, the individuality. You want to be able to doodle different faces, make different shapes, come to life, experiment. And this gives you the opportunity to not be worrying about a particular job. Like, say a guy comes up to you, I want you to draw me, and here's some money. And then you're like, oh, shit, I got to do a good job. Whereas if you're doing this, you can discover that head shape that may be perfect for that guy, or you can discover a way of doodling an eyeball, or a way of drawing a particular eye by accident here, and you have documentation of it in your journal and in your mind because you've learned a new way. You've accidentally stumbled upon something that you think is intriguing, So that's I think is the fun part of doodling. And you can tell, for yourself when you do draw something like this, it really is fun. I want you to share some pictures that you draw. I know we got a bunch of people like Shalea, that's her internet handle from Twitch. She posts a lot of pictures to me, and of course Ray, which is almost like a co-host on Twitch, always there chatting with me. She is also an artist, and they're always drawing me pictures, and we always collaborate. Me and Ray on drawings of the stickers and stuff. I came to her with an idea and a design, and we worked through it. And she, wanted to see what she could bring to the table, and she brought something amazing. So if you want to check those things out, of course, the Etsy shop link is at the end of every video, so you can check out a sticker and help support. But I really enjoy seeing other people's artwork as well. That's why I follow a lot of people like Will Terrell and Mary Doodles and countless others, and even on Twitter. I don't even, Will Terrell has friends he goes out with, and they do, life drawings and people drawing and people sketching and stuff like this, and they're very talented artists. And I follow them on Twitter because they post pictures a lot, and on Instagram as well. It's cool to see other people's drawing. I love to, see different styles, try to take little pieces of their style and incorporate into my style. It's kind of like a comedian in a way. I was listening to a podcast of Adam Carolla. You can check that out too. But he had Tracy Morgan. I want to call him Jordan because of 30 Rock, but it's Tracy Morgan, and he was on there, and he was talking about how he sets up an hour's worth of comedy for a special or something. And he says that he goes to little clubs, and he'll test a joke or test an idea out on the people, where at a club you would do 5-10 minutes of comedy, and on a big venue like a place where you're headlining, you may pull off an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours. You don't know. It's all depending on the particular comedian and what they want to do. So he'll test these particular jokes, and he'll take the ones that got big laughs, and he'll add them to the bag of what his special is going to be comprised of. And that's what I think. Like, you're special. You're a comedian or an actor. You're a comedian in the way of art. You're drawing your style. That's your style. And throughout the course of doodles and sketches and drawings, you're going to pull from these little things that worked and a lot of stuff that don't work. And you'll get an example, like if you go back and look at my last Doodle Diary, again, link at the end of the video, it was one that I wasn't proud of, and I tell you in the video, and I even put it up because I didn't start and redo another one. I said, you know what, I'm going to put it up and we're going to talk about this, because that's something a lot of people don't realize, is that your favorite artists, your favorite musicians, your favorite TV stars, you know, they are humans just like you, and they fail. You know, I'm not saying that I'm some kind of famous artist or nothing. I don't want you to guys take that odd, you know, take that, you know, in a wrong way. But the point is, you see some of these videos, and we've polished them. A lot of people have polished these videos to a perfect, you know, perfection. But hiding behind that polished piece is 100,000 flaws and 100 failed attempts. And you gotta, you know, and Mary Doodle slips up and she says stuff like that. Like she says, well, you know, I've messed this video. You know, it took a long time because I messed up this particular piece, you know, for the video a couple of times. And I went back and I made sure to do it right. But she's entertaining with a story. She's telling a fluid story with her drawing. She paints a picture. She takes, you know, ideas from the viewers and puts them together and makes something funny and puts music and speeds it up. I mean, she does need to do that. And with this, that's not what I'm after. I want to doodle. I want to mess up. I want you to look and go, well, this face looked all right, but this other face was great. You know, things like that, because I want you to understand and in a way let that empower you as an artist. Because I know it empowers me when I listen to these podcasts to these actors and comedians, and you just hear their humble bringings and all the shit that they've went through and the hard times that they've experienced. And it gives you hope, because if it was up to media and magazines and stuff, they would make you think that these, you know, female actresses are carved from marble by the gods and their breasts hang perfect and their faces have no wrinkles, and even when they're in, you know, old and gray, they're not old and gray. They're still, you know, these beautiful, you know, statuesque beings, you know. But that's not how it is, you know. And that was a big thing recently. A lot of actresses coming out and going, well, this airbrushed stuff on magazines, this is not what I truly look like. You know, I've got lines and, you know, creases, and, you know, I've got a little bit of meat here that, you know, and a little meat there, and my breasts aren't the perkiest in the world. That's all, you know, awesome bras and push-ups and fancy dresses and all. So, you know, you need to sometimes see that flaw. Because if you want to be a success in life, you got to know that you're going to fail. Others fail. It's how it works. You know, when you see shows like Behind the Actor's Studio and you find out that these particular artists have been in TVs and commercials and all this long before you even knew they existed, and then all of a sudden that one role blows them up, and then the next thing you know, that you think that's where they are, you know, they were derived from. Like they just sprung out of the wilderness at night. Next thing you know, they're millionaires. That's not the case. They have been busting their hump forever, failing. And then finally, the success hits, and that's when you truly get to see the, you know, this individual and learn about their struggle and all this. And that's if you pay attention. A lot of people just, you know, think they can do no wrong, but, you know, you've got to see it, and you're going to do wrong. And I've said it, I don't know how many times in the videos thus far, but you're going to fail in life. But the fact is, you got to keep going, because those failures will be a glorious story to tell, you know, when you've made it to wherever it is that you want to be. So if you don't know, if your skill set is not matched as mine, you know, my skill set is way, you know, it pales in comparison to Will Terrell and all these other comic book artists and people. It does. I mean, I'm far from where I want to be. But you're never going to be where you want to be. Even those guys strive to do better and do more. And that's what you should do, is always try to keep going and moving and keep going forward. So, yeah, that's important. And I'll get off my soapbox for a minute there, because it's something, you know, you start to realize, you know, look at that face at the top. You know, it's like a borderline between like a, you know, an old derpy lady or just, I don't know. I mean, it's so crazy looking. I like the shine on the eye. It reminds me of old Looney Tunes cartoons. Like the purple with the shine on the guy on the top left. That's great. But guys, as always, I want to remind you, keep kicking butt. Keep doing your art. Keep submitting it to me via Twitter. And I really want to see it. It does me good to know that, you know, I can learn from others and they can learn from me. So guys, take care. Make sure to thumbs up, rate, you know, comment and everything. Tell me what you want me to draw. Submit pictures. Yeah, that's awesome. So hit that music. Look at that. I bled on the other side, but you know, it happens. And there's a unicorn dragon weird manticore thing. But yeah, that's awesome. Guys, watch the other videos and share. I can't talk right, and take care. Love you a long time.